Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. So today I would like to follow up on a video series on a topic that I've been discussing for the past 4.5 years when it comes to car manufacturers. In 2020, most of the major automakers in America, Nissan, Toyota, Honda, Ford, and General Motors, all spent $25 million to create advertisements that implied that if you have your vehicle serviced at an independent mechanic, there is a chance, however small, that you are going to be raped in a parking lot. And one of the reasons that I've been using the R word to describe Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. What I'd like to go over in this video is a topic that I've been discussing for about 5 years when it comes to car manufacturers, and I've really been upping the ante lately on this because the car manufacturers have been upping the ante with regards to having no respect for your personal data. You may remember a video that I did back in 2020 when we were trying to get right to repair passed in Massachusetts so that you could choose who works on your car. So the independent service center down the road could have tools available to them that are similar or identical to what you could get at the dealer so that they can actually work on, diagnose, and repair your vehicle. Most people don't want to have to go to the dealership where they're going to get told something's going to be $6,000 when the person down the road will show them the actual problem and fix it for $200 to $400. This was an important bill to a lot of people, and this was something that had mass levels of popularity across political parties, affiliations, sex, sexual orientation, religion. Everybody wants to be able to choose who fixes their own car. Even if you don't care about right to repair for consumer electronics, for tractors, for wheelchairs, for your phone, for your MacBook, the car is the one point where almost everybody in America at some point has been screwed. So this bill had a very high chance of passing. And to try and keep it from passing, General Motors, Honda, Ford, Nissan, and Toyota decided to spend $25 million to have Coalition for Safe and Secure Data create commercials that would imply that if you get your car serviced by an independent mechanic, that you are going to be sexually assaulted, beaten, or raped in a parking lot. And they even tried to pretend that organizations that are dedicated to supporting victims of sexual assault supported this insane claim. And this is one of those things where the car manufacturers are accusing independents of what it is they're actually doing themselves. In this video, I'm talking about the fact that this ruling means that you have to wait until you sell your car, somebody else gets the data out of it, and then uses it to blackmail you to be able to sue the auto manufacturer. But you can't sue them for the fact that you can't delete it. Next, I discussed the Chevy Bolt. This is a vehicle that, without you ever hitting agree or consent, is sucking up your personal data, sending it to GM, who is then sending it to a broker like LexisNexis, who is then selling it to your insurance company so that they could raise your insurance rates if you hit the brakes too hard at one point in time. It also tracked your location, the time you were at that location, how fast you were going to that location, when you used your brakes, when you turned, when you used your accelerator pedal, and how you did so without your consent. This comes from Nick. It says, I've encountered something unfortunate you may be interested in. Today, I attempted to download the fusebox diagram from my 2024 Mini Cooper SE. This information was not in the user manual, which advises I download this from Mini's website instead. When I did find a link to the Fuse assignment plan download page, I was met with a message stating, this content is only available with analytics and marketing cookies. This was true at the time of writing, screenshot attached, and you can see for yourself here. The site also states that no paper copy of the fusebox will be made for vehicles manufactured after 2019. So this is the only legitimate way to retrieve this information. So there's two things here that really piss me off. The first is, throughout the course of my 35-year life, I have never read an instruction manual that was useful. Every single fucking time I read an instruction manual, it'll say something like, it'll say something like SEL. And then I'll look in the manual and say, okay, what does the SEL button do? Because it doesn't seem to mean to select. And then it'll say, sets the cell parameter. But what is the cell parameter? The manual doesn't tell you. Here, of course the manual is not going to give you any information about the fuse box because that would actually make it useful. Instruction manuals drive me insane because they never have what I want. But the broader point here is that automotive manufacturers have been lobbying against right to repair and your ability to repair your own vehicle, similar to what Apple was saying about privacy and security in the piece of propaganda that I debunked yesterday, while simultaneously being the people that are trying to suck up as much of your personal data as possible. Does Joe the mechanic down the road who's servicing your transmission have a website with marketing cookies on it? Like, really? He has a WordPress website from 2007 that's running on PHP 4. He does not care about your personal data, and it does not matter that his website is running on PHP 4 because he does not require a single piece of your personal data in order to fix your vehicle. Why do you have to be forced against your consent to accept marketing cookies in order to get access to a fusebox diagram? I know what you're thinking. This is not a big deal. Why do you care about this? Just accept the cookies. Just use a different browser. You should just use a different browser. Just use incognito mode. And one of the things that I realize with my audience is that a lot of people who are not neurotypical, admittedly myself included, we fall into this trap where we try to solve a problem. We're like, okay, here's a problem. Let's try to find a technical solution to the problem rather than recognizing that this problem shouldn't exist. We shouldn't accept the premise that this is a problem that we have to solve. The fact that I have to click incognito, new private window, that's unacceptable. You may think it's ridiculous I'm complaining about this because it only takes a half a second of time. Why should I have to? Why should I have to have my personal data taken from me? You know, a lot of people on this channel will talk about the whole slippery slope fallacy thing. Is it a fallacy when it's real? Or as a famous person once said, you're not paranoid if they're actually after you. If GM is allowed to suck up all of your personal data without your consent, and they're allowed to sell that to LexisNexis, who then sells it to an insurance company, who then raises your rates based on it, why is it inconceivable to believe that another automaker may be doing something else with your personal data? I don't think anybody in my audience are the type of people that want any automaker having any of their personal data for any reason without their consent. And when a company says that you must consent, you have no option but to consent. I'm going to coerce you into consenting. What is the word that we use for that? Exactly. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.